It's your boy King Buzz back with those exclusives. Welcome to the channel where we make no excuses. Shout out all artists, engineers, and producers. And I'm back with another video. Y'all know what's going on. Look, man, if you're watching right now and you haven't hit that subscribe button, subscribe right now. Before we even get into the video, before we get into the sauce and the gems I'm finna drop, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Alright, you liked it? You subscribe? Bet. Let's get it. So in today's video, man, we're gonna talk about some tips to putting together a great project, man. Alright? Now, I'm speaking from personal experiences, and I'm also speaking from knowing and listening to albums I consider great. You know, when you're putting together a project and you want it to be great or you want it to be a classic, what are some of the things you have to do in order to be successful? Alright, first off, production. Production has to be A1, right? So when you want to create a really good project, right, you want it to sonically be equivalent. Now, what do I mean by that? You either want to lock in with, you know, one or two producers. Locking in with one or two producers to do one project will give you a consistent sound throughout the entire project, right? If you have 10 songs, 10 different producers, it's going to be super tough for that project to sound cohesive, right? And that's another thing. When you're making a great project, you want it to be cohesive. You want it to flow. You want it to be effortless. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Locking in with one or two producers is going to give you a consistent sound. You know what I mean? And you got to also deliver, and you also got to let the producers know what you're aiming to do. Like, what's your goal? What's the sound that you're going for? So they can also do their part to deliver. You know what I mean? So lock in with a producer or two, and y'all sit down and y'all create a sound. Y'all create a consistent sound throughout this entire project, right? And then once you get the production down, now you have to deliver high quality lyrics, right? Whether you're gonna be lyrical, whether you're being catchy, whether you're being melodic, it don't matter which route you take. You know what I mean? You just have to do it at a high level. You got to do it at a high level, a real high level. If you want this project to be considered great or a classic, you got to do it at a high level. You got to say things that are rememberable. You got to say things that stick out. You got to say things that when people hear it, they remember it. You got to say things that after people done listening to the album, they walk around the house just randomly saying it, or they throughout their day, they just randomly just you know, saying your lyrics. That's when you know you got something. All right, so like I said, link with some producers to build a consistent sound, and then you got to deliver lyrically or melodically, or you know, the vibes. You have to do that at a high level. You got to do it at a high clip. Don't rush the process, man. Right? Don't rush the process. Take your time and really craft these songs one by one. Alright? Craft these songs one by one. There's no rush. You racing yourself. It's you against you. So what's the point of rushing? Take your time. When it drops, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth the wait when you really sit down and craft it song by song. My last album, I crafted it song by song. And speaking of my last album, let's get into something else I did that just helps the project glue together, and it just helps the project stand out. Transitions. When you go from track to track, how you going to do it? You can either have like a smooth transition where like the instrument from the next song kind of blends into the end of the song before it, right? So it gives you a smooth transition into the next one, to the point where the person listening is like, damn, this another song? Like, oh, I ain't even know, you know what I mean? Like, transitions is crazy. It makes the listening experience, when somebody sit down and listen to an album, they pick up on it like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, I ain't even know we went into the next song. You gotta look at your project like a movie, right? So another thing I always do, well, I'm starting to do now, like my last album is like the perfect example for like all of this. I added in things that people are familiar with, right? So like little viral clips and just stuff that, you know, people heard throughout the year, or things that's viral at the moment. You add these things into your album, whether you're clipping the actual audio from the viral video, or you know, something that people are familiar with, or maybe you have a verse where you kind of like piggyback off of something that just happened, you know, or you know, something like that. You know what I mean? You just gotta like implement what's going on. People relate and people understand when you put things in there that's relevant to what's going on right now or what just happened, you know, within the last 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, people understand that. So I threw in clips like, I give you an example, like at the end of one of my songs, you know, the alright, I'ma fuck with you, you know, like at the end of one of my songs, one of the transitions at the end, it says that, like, alright, I'ma fuck with you, and then, you know, and then at that point the next song comes in and it's like, it's a journey. You got to take people on a ride, you know what I mean? So you got to, like I said, build a consistent sound throughout the entire project. You got to deliver with the lyrics, the melodies, all of that. It got to be at a high level. You need transitions, very important, very important. And you also want to make your tracks dynamic, right? I always talk about this, like when you rapping, don't be one dimensional. You feel me? Like, don't just rap the same way the entire album, cause it gets boring. No one wants to hear a boring album. A great album isn't boring. A classic album isn't boring. A classic album takes you on a journey. A great album takes you on a journey. So you have to create this journey. Look, when you go to create your album, right? When you go to work on your project, think about creating the perfect soundtrack to a good movie. Think about it like that, right? Like all good movies have great soundtracks. So think about it like this. When you go to create your project, think about creating a great soundtrack for a great movie, right? You want people to listen, and when they listen to this album, they can visualize everything. They can see it, right? They should be able to put their headphones on, close their eyes, and they can see everything you're saying. And that's what makes a great album great. That's what makes a classic album a classic. You hear me? So, like, once again, what I said, man, you gotta have a consistent sound. You gotta deliver at a high level when it comes to the lyrics, the melodies, all that good stuff. You need transitions. You need to implement relevant things at that current moment, or, you know, the past, like I said, the past 6 months. All that is still relevant. You need to implement those things. You need to be dynamic, not one dimensional. You cannot be like no 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 the whole album. You gotta change it up. You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up. But that's the beautiful part about a great album, because it's so dynamic, but it all go together. You know what I mean? Like, you switching the flows is different, but it all just mesh so well. And that's what makes a great album great. So when you sit down to make your next project, when you sit down to write your next project, visualize the project in your head. I'm gonna give you another tip that just might help you. I put my homies onto this a long time ago, years ago, and it helped them create great bodies of work. Before you even start working on your project, you know, before you start working on this album, sit down, write it out. Write it out. What is this album about? What's the storyline? What songs do I need to tell this story? What name? What's the name of some of these songs? You know, write it out. It helps. If you got a list of songs, you know the storyline, you got a list of songs, you got the names, now you plugging in. Now you listen to the beat, and you looking at your list of songs, and you like, this beat sound like that. You know what I mean? So now, when it comes to making this project, you want simplified it, cause now you got your own guide. You got your own guide. You looking like, okay, I need this song. This beat sound like it could be this song. Let me see if I can come up with a hook that makes sense. That's fire. At, you know, something at a high level though. Like I said, it got to be at a high level. High level. You know what I mean? Like my last album, I swear to God, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. King Buzz, Learn to Love. Great album from beginning to end. Fire. Fuego. I took my time with it. Masterpiece. Masterpiece. I would play that album for anybody. Masterpiece. You feel me? Masterpiece. What did I do though? Telling you what I did. I am the producer. I make the beats, so the sound is consistent. Don't have to worry about it. Tailor made. Every beat tailor made for me. Tailor made to the T. Sound consistent. Lyrically delivered. high level. Melodies, delivered, high level. Transitions, delivered, high level. Relevancy, delivered, high level. Catchiness, delivered, high level. There's no skips on my album, promise you. Fuego, did my thing, went crazy. And these are the things that I was focusing on when I was making this project. As anybody on my team, I took my time. It ain't never took me this long to make an album. And honestly, it doesn't take that long to make a project. But I just took my time because I've always made projects in a short amount of time. So I just wanted to see what I can do if I actually just took my time. Like, I didn't need all that time I took to make it. I took a year to make the album. I didn't need a year. I could have did it in, 2-3 months. Most of my projects were made in a month, if we being honest, if I'm being real with y'all. This project was made in the span of 12 months. So in the span of 12 months, I just made music. And when it was time to build that storyline, I had an extended list of songs to choose from. And I sat here with my homies and we picked the best songs to fit what I was trying to accomplish. So that's another thing, man. Don't be too high on yourself to ask for help. You know what I mean? Like, bring in your homies, bring in people who you feel got a good ear like you, or people who you feel understand what you're trying to accomplish with this project, and let them come in and help you curate your album. Because the order that you put these songs in are very important. It's like creating a playlist. A good playlist, it flows straight through, man. It's like no skips on a good playlist. So when you're making your album, like I said, treat it as if you're making a great soundtrack for a great movie. Or, like I just said, you could treat it as if you're making a great playlist. A great playlist, like I said, got no skips. You know what I mean? So these are just some tips to make a great project. You want to create a consistent sound. If song 2 is too left field from song 1, you already lost some people. Because if song 1 comes on and they like, ooh, I like this, and then song 2 come on and it's completely left field, they're going to be like, yo, what happened? What is this? You know what I mean? So these are just some tips, man. Like I said, from personal experience, from listening to albums I love. Like, go listen to Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. Straight through, no skips. It's great. Transitions, there. Lyrically, high level, delivered. Melodies, there, delivered. High level, it's there. It's there, man. I'm trying to tell you. What's another album that people just love? Shit, Michael Jackson, Thriller. What? Go listen to that album. No skips. Flawless. Mike delivered at a super high level all the way through. Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. Flawless. High level. Everything. He took his time. Sonically. Consistent. All the way through. Nothing is left field. Nothing feels out of place. Everything feels like it's supposed to be there. And that's how you make a great project. That's how you make a classic album. J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Amazing. Arguably his best album. Amazing. Flawless all the way through. Lyrically, high level. Melodies, flawless. Crazy. Transitions, fire. Relevancy, there. Crazy, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. These is the key points. This is what you need to focus on. You're trying to make a great project. You feel me? You're trying to make a classic album. This is what you need to focus on. Alright? Now, being an independent artist, getting started, trying to get your name out there, you might not necessarily need to focus on an album, because a single could take you places for real. Like, one song could take you over the top. One song. You don't really need an album. Me personally, I like albums. I'm an album artist. I like making albums. That's what I do. Like, I don't know, it's something about creating a body of work that I'm just addicted to. And I just get better and better at it. And that's really how I measure my growth. Is like, how good is this body of work compared to my last, body of work. So Learn to Love compared to By Any Means Necessary 2.0, which was the album before Learn to Love, miles ahead, miles above. I grew tremendously. Lyrically, melodically, my mixing skills, my mastering, everything just grew like super different, super crazy. It's amazing. So, like I said though, you know, if you're an album artist, you like creating albums, you like putting projects together, these are the things you need to focus on to create those classic projects. You know what I mean? Those timeless projects. You want to be able to put that project on 10 years from now and be like, damn, this shit is amazing. A classic project never gets old. But that's all, man. I ain't gonna go too crazy, man. This video already kind of long, but I just feel like I had to let y'all know that, man. But look, we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep going strong. Y'all know what's going on. It's your boy King Buzz, and I'm out of here. Yeah.